Good morning. Sorry, I have been down and out since about Friday night at 11 p.m. I I am I think I may have mentioned that Jeff was sick last Thursday when I did this live. He had to stay home because he was so down and out, which he never does. And guess what? On Friday he was better. 24 hours, 36 hours. Friday morning, he didn't feel very great, but then he ended up feeling way better, better enough to go to his gig and with his band and sing even. and like, wow, amazing. And then Friday night, I thought I was in the clear because I was like, I didn't get your sickness. I never get sick. Like, I literally never get sick. And then Friday night at his gig, we're there, we're packing up, and he was playing at the casino. So once we were done packing up, him and I walked over into the casino and played some slots just for fun. We do that sometimes, and well, he plays and I watch. It's fun. I like it. But as I sat there, I just like faded. I just like it's like it hit me like a wall. And now it's Thursday, so we're almost at a full week, and I finally feel like a human again. Maybe because I don't get sick that often, but this one wiped me out. It wiped me out, and my voice still sounds fantastic. And if I cough, I apologize because I have no control over whether I'm coughing or not. So, um, but what I want to talk to you guys about today. So I started on the Limitless Life Code podcast. I started talking about yesterday about um, basically why we have a toxic relationship with food and our bodies, about how we have this sense of not enoughness deep down inside, and we basically blame it on our bodies. And this is because of so many factors, but the beauty industry is a huge one. The fitness industry is a huge one. And also, like, you can really tell when someone really loves themselves because they really genuinely care about their health. It's just a natural thing that occurs. The more you love yourself, the easier it is, the less effort it takes. And I'm not saying that people who are unhealthy don't love themselves, but I'm saying that people who do take care of their health have done a lot of healing work. Or maybe they never really needed to. And I mean, I'm going to tell you, like, I use fitness as a band aid for my not enoughness for a long time. And it was really good when I was good. It was really good when I was good. When I was on it, when I was making gains, when I was crushing it in the gym, when I was on my routine, when I was doing the things. But what that did is it made my self love very conditional. Because if I fucked up, I would be pissed at myself. And all of that same old self talk would come screaming back. And this is the same with everything that we do in life. When we use goals to make ourselves feel like we are enough, to make us feel worthy, if something ever gets in the way, and we all know that life gets in the way, whether it's a fitness goal, whether it's a monetary goal, whether it's a business goal or a promotion or whatever it is that you're chasing after, your enoughness isn't going to be in that chasing, in whatever you're chasing. Even if you do get it, which many of us do, you're just going to pivot to the next thing to attach your enoughness to, because it's elusive when you look for it out there. And so what I really wanted to talk about today was specifically how our relationship with food and our relationship with our bodies relates to all of the stuff that we talk about. And like how you actually heal it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't more discipline. More discipline is not your problem. And I know this with absolute certainty because I've done that route. I've done that. I've coached that. And I've helped people get there. But the problem is, once again, you've attached your enoughness to how you are when you're at your best. But you're a human. So what happens when you're not able to be at your best? You hate yourself? You're pissed? You feel like shame and guilt is overflowing because I fucking suck. How can I be this terrible? I'm 34 years old. How can I not already have this figured out? Like, how unfair is that? To put on yourself like that. It's brutal. And I want to talk to you about one of my clients that I've worked with. Because the way that we're healing our relationship with food, traditionally, by finding the perfect workout plan and finding the perfect nutrition plan and all of that stuff that we do all the time, buying the next coach or trainer or program or researching all the things about the body or doing all of these things about how can we lose weight, how can we get there. If we could just lose weight, we would just finally be enough, we would finally feel good in our own skin. No. I mean, you will feel better. And the people who do feel amazing in their own skin after they've done the work is because they've done more work than just the fitness work. And so one of my clients was 60 years old when we started working together. And he was a chronic binge eater. And I mean the kind of binge eating that is extreme. Like extreme. The kind of binge eating where you become a type 1 and type 2 diabetic. Where you are yo-yoing between being super fit and jacked and lean and being 300 pounds. And not any of those things. The kind of binge eating that you do for your entire life. And he had, he was a bodybuilder. He was someone who trained hard and did the bro diet and went to all the fitness competitions and loved Ronnie Coleman and did all the things and studied all the things. And he would do so good. That's what I'm saying. He would get so good for a period of time. And then he'd fall right back. And it wasn't because he didn't have the right diet plan. It wasn't because he didn't have enough discipline. And yeah, I'm sure you could mean muscle your way through your entire life of disciplining yourself into getting to doing the things. You can make your mind an iron trap. And you can do that. Look at David Goggins. He's a motherfucker who just crushes that shit. But he's got demons. And if he didn't literally lean on that discipline and push his limits every single day, I imagine that he would probably fall right back into that shit. Right? So here's the thing, okay? When this client and I started working together, he had worked with binge eating coaches in the past. He had worked with all different kinds of trainers, and he'd studied nutrition, and he'd done all the things, and he learned about calorie deficits, and he learned about how to manipulate his body that way, how to lose weight, how to get really lean. He studied the competitors, like I said. But what he did not do is look at the root cause. Why am I binge eating? And if it's not binge eating, maybe it's another substance. Maybe it's alcohol. Maybe it's smoking cigarettes. I mean, it could be as simple as that. Maybe it's drugs. Maybe it's gambling. Maybe it's sex. Whatever it is that you are using, what you're doing is you're numbing out. You're using to numb out. You know, I watched the series Dope Sick on Disney, I think. Disney Plus. And it's all about the rise of Oxy. And what I realized by watching that, it really hit me like, damn. The only reason why they need those drugs in the beginning, why they need them, is because they gave a break from the pain. They gave a break from the pain. And that break felt like euphoria because they had lived with pain chronically for so long. They didn't even know what it felt like to be without it. And as soon as it was gone, they didn't know how to ever go back. They got a taste of what it was like to be free, or to be numb, or not feel what they're feeling. And they never wanted to go back. That's the same with this. It's the same with your toxic behaviors. It's the same with your self-sabotage and your numbing and all the stuff that you're doing. Yes, it sucks, but it's serving you on some level. You only do things that serve you. And you can sit here and you can argue with me and you can tell me that it doesn't serve you. You hate every bit of it, every single thing about it, but you can't control yourself. It's just a habit. No, I mean, yes, part of it definitely is probably a habit. Part of it is habitual. But that habit could easily be dropped away if you didn't somewhere deep down believe that it served you. It serves you. So with this client, we worked on his food in the beginning. You know, we worked on healing his relationship with treats, making sure that he had one every single day, because he needed to know that he could. He needed to know that this wasn't some all in or all out last supper mentality every time he had something sweet or like a piece of pizza. He was meant to have a treat every single day because we needed to teach his mind, to give his mind that sense of inner trust that I am not restricted. I am free. I can have whatever I want, whenever I want. And you know what that means? That means I don't have to eat it all in one sitting when I get my hands on it. That was massive. That is the hugest first step I've ever done with eating disorder clients. Let them know that they're free, that they can have the stuff every day. And if they have it just to the amount that they set out for, then they can have it tomorrow and the next day and the day after that. There's magic in that. And I'm talking about a very specific way where you're literally very accountable to how much you're having. That's what I'm talking about. Not just free, willy-nilly, have a handful, it's fine. No. There's a very calculated process to how we make this work in a way that keeps you in check, but it was very important. But I'll tell you, that is really important. And I have honestly seen massive success with clients in the last 10 years on helping them just do that to heal their relationship with treats and to heal their relationship with their metabolism. Like, I can do that scientifically, biologically. I have been helping clients reverse their metabolism, reverse their metabolic damage, heal their body, and heal their relationship with food. That is something I have been doing for a long ass time. But what I have done in the last 5 years is I've taken it to that next level. And this is where change trickles into all of the rest of your life. Because I'm going to tell you, if you're using something to numb out, like food, and you heal your relationship with food, but you still have this thing that you need to numb out from, guess what? You're going to be playing whack-a-mole with your vices. Food over here, you hit that one, and guess what? Over here, alcohol problem, or a relationship problem, or a drug problem, or now you're smoking, or now you're doing chewing tobacco, or now you have something else to numb out with, right? When you are eliminating your vices, and I have done great work on eliminating vices for the last 5 years. When you are working to eliminate your vices, you have to understand that you have a vice for a reason. You have a vice for a reason. And if you eliminate one, you're just going to have another one surface over here. And it might not look unhealthy to start with. But what it's doing is it's making your happiness and your peace conditional. And that's great. If you want to live the rest of your life making sure that you have all your boxes checked before you can be happy. But is that what you want? No. I mean, maybe. It's a band-aid. It's a bridge. It's a way through. It's a way to trade a very toxic behavior for maybe a little bit better of one. But again, you're still coping. So what do we need to do? We need to heal what you're coping from. So with this client, what I ended up doing was teaching him about his mind. Teaching him about the ego. Teaching about the voice in his head and how he doesn't have to listen to every thought. He doesn't have to believe every thought that crosses his mind. He doesn't have to take responsibility for the thoughts that come into his mind. And there was a lot of thoughts that were automatically programmed where once he started witnessing them, because we did this like exercise of like, just watch them come in. Just make sure you take a pause when you're feeling emotionally stimulated, frustrated, aggravated, agitated, upset, whatever. And just witness what goes on in your mind. And as you witness what is going on in your mind, just be curious about it. Don't feel bad about it. This is just a program that you adopted from life, a program that regurgitates thoughts, and you might not even believe in them. Your understanding of who you are today might not even agree with those thoughts anymore. They probably don't, because they're probably pretty toxic, and they're probably pretty shitty, and they probably make you feel like a bad guy, or make you want to be a bad guy, or make you feel extra victim-y and victimized by your circumstances, because that voice in your head, the ego, is founded on the belief in lack. I've told you guys this so many times. The ego is founded on the belief in lack. So that voice in your head, that automatic program, is your ego. It's the part of your mind that thinks that your value's out there. And every time you have an emotion, like anger, resentfulness, frustration, that anger is telling you that something has got in the way of what your mind has attached to out there. So maybe with this particular client, it was an identity thing. It was a needing to be the guy at work, the guy for his family, the guy in general, the guy in the gym, the guy that knows all the things, the guy that people come to, the guy that, and if something or somebody got in the way of the guy being the guy, you should see the spiral that would happen and the automatic thoughts. And as soon as he started to witness this happening, it was insane how quickly he changed. And it wasn't just about food. It wasn't just about food. Food was just the major numbing agent that he was using and was focused on. But as soon as we healed that relationship with food, which I'll tell you right now, after 50 years of a binge eating disorder, from the moment that him and I started working together, he has never binged again. And it has been over 2 years, 2.5 years. And he has never binged, not one time ever again. From day one. After 50 years. Because, not just because we healed his relationship with food. We could have just healed his relationship with food. But what we did is we went in and we healed his need to be the guy. We discovered that he's enough on his own. And that his love is so much bigger and better than being the guy. That he, as himself, is enough. And that healed his relationship with his wife. It healed his relationship with his son. It allowed him to retire from work, which he thought maybe I'll never be able to do, even though I really want to. But how can I do that? If I leave work, how am I going to be the guy? It helped him heal his relationship with his body. He's never been leaner, never been fitter, and like I said, never binged again. His A1C went from a 12 as a diabetic to like a 6, 5, 6 in a year. Like, the kind of healing that you can do when you really go and uncover the thing that you're attached to out there, and you go in and you discover your wholeness. Like, this is what I mean when I keep telling you guys the kind of transformation that lasts is on a 3-part level. Mind, big one is mind. Body and soul. You got to get out of your head. You got to do what you need to do to love on your body and nourish it and act like you love it, because that is one of the quickest way to act like you love yourself. And that means not just doing all the right things for your body. That means being gentle with it. That means being kind to it. That means treating yourself every day if you need to. That means resting it. That means prioritizing joy, prioritizing relaxation, prioritizing self-care. And I mean like physical self-care, like getting massages and getting outside and letting the sun hit your skin and breathing in fresh air and putting your feet on the earth. And then soul, which is where you connect to what has always been inside of you, where you actually shine a light on the light that's inside of you, where you part the clouds and let yourself see the sun that lives inside of you. Those 3 steps, all 3, is how you heal anything and everything in your entire life. It's where you become limitless. So in saying that, I'm going to go rest my voice. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon.